Working with a parent coach is not about fixing something that's broken. It is about building on your strengths and learning new skills that can benefit the relationships in your home. So, if you're finding yourself using tools like yelling and punishment and shame and blame, threats and bribes, working with a parent coach is something that might really help you. You get to be Luke Skywalker, and I get to play Yoda. It's all about helping you be the best parent that you can be while also creating a happier, calmer, healthier home by learning and practicing positive parenting methods. I know you're doing your best. And if you're using tools like yelling, shaming, blaming, punishments, and bribes and threats, it means that there's space for improvement. Hello, if we haven't met yet, my name is Megan and I'm a parent coach. I teach and coach my clients in positive parenting methods. That way they can learn practical strategies and start using them in their everyday interactions with their children. And that's because I believe that good parenting is something that's intentional and not instinctual. And the effective parents that I work with start to build a very balanced toolbox. Here are three signs that you're ready to work with a parenting coach. The first sign is that you have a ton of information. It may be creating information overwhelm, like you're following all of the accounts and listening to all the advice and trying to do all of the tips, tactics, and strategies. So if you've been feeling like you've been totally overwhelming and drowning in one way information, working with someone to help you make sense of it all might be just a trick. That's actually why I organized all of the tactics and strategies that I teach my clients into a method called the CLEAR method. We start with connection, then move into limits, empowerment, accountability, and recovery. That's the natural flow of positive conflict resolution. When there's a process, then it makes sense and you can start to implement those steps in your everyday situations. And then when stressful moments happen, you can reflect back and see which step was skipped or which step we need to focus on more the next time. It takes all of that overwhelm and builds a pathway forward. The second sign that you might be ready to work with a parenting coach is if you are starting to feel a disconnect in your relationship. Perhaps when your child was younger, things were easier and different, but now that your child is mobile and beginning to be autonomous and have their own thoughts and dreams and desires and wants and needs, that comes with pushback and power struggles. I've seen this occur in families with children as young as 16 months to families who are raising teenagers and even older than that. I think a part of parenting that is under discussed is how when you are raising children, it is your job to navigate finding the right strategies to help the child in front of you grow, much like a gardener does. If a gardener were to treat a cactus like an orchid, the cactus would become flooded and rot. And if that same gardener treated the orchid like a cactus, it would shrivel up and die as well. A skilled gardener diversifies their tools and approaches so that they can discern the difference between a cactus and an orchid, and they can use methods to help both of them thrive. The third sign that you may be ready to work with a parenting coach is if you've been feeling like you're in a rut, like you're hearing things like this phase will pass, or it won't be like this forever, or you'll miss that these days when they're older, they're only young once. But when you hear that, it makes you feel stuck and trapped and overwhelmed and disconnected from those who you're reaching out to. Perhaps working with a parent coach is a really nice next step. Someone who can center you, who can hear your struggles and learn about the children that you are raising and in the family that you are raising them in, and help you build an approach that helps everyone feel safe, seen, heard, and understood. The approach that I teach my clients is called, again, the CLEAR method, and it is that pathway forward for them. There are clear signs in which step is needing some more time and attention and focus. So instead of thinking that working with a parenting coach is fixing something that's broken, what if you began to see it as an investment in you and your family's relationships? That way you can feel better and have fewer conflicts and start to become more collaborative in your approach together. That's something that my clients often report feeling, that they're actually enjoying being a parent again. So if you're listening now and all of this is landing and it's feeling maybe a little bit exciting, I encourage you to head to my bio link and get started. There can be a pathway forward for you too.